Let's bring in Akiva Eldar. He's a political analyst and joins us live from Tel Aviv. We've just been hearing there, Akiva, that for many people in Gaza, it's an impossible choice between either death or complete desolation. I wonder if you can help us understand the sentiment in Israel as to how this wholesale dismantling of Gaza City is going so far. We know a ceasefire deal is still pending with the Israeli side. Is Netanyahu deliberately dragging his feet to allow further destruction and further starvation?
Well, I'm afraid that your question has a very simple answer. Yes, Netanyahu can live with that. More and more Israelis believe that we have now an authoritarian regime. The people around Netanyahu, even close people who disagree with him. And, their heart goes, first of all, to the families of the captives, to the Israeli soldiers that will be sacrificed in a war that nobody knows. Even, I think, if you ask Netanyahu himself, what's in it for us, let alone for our neighbors? And you can look at what happened in the last cabinet's meeting, where the head of the National Security Council, Tzachi Hanegbi, who is one of the closest people to Netanyahu, the foreign minister, Gideon Saar, who is a completely right-wing settler, let alone the chief of staff and the head of the Shin Bet, who are saying very clearly that it's not worth it. And the price tag is in foreign currency, with diplomatic chaos and with no future for Israel. And it's perpetrating chaos in Gaza, let alone also in the Palestinian occupied territories, the West Bank. People are suffering there because they are not able to work in Israel. And I think that what Netanyahu is doing is, I hope so, he is waiting for a phone call from the strongest and weird man, Donald Trump.
We'll get on to Donald Trump in a second, Akiva, but I'm curious that you are very clear to call the Netanyahu leadership an authoritarian regime. An authoritarian regime, your words, propped up, though, by a very, very powerful military, in spite of all of the words of caution coming from top military brass about whether or not Israel can actually achieve its goals in Gaza. I ask this because, despite the growing international pressure, Israel's defense minister says Israel's launched an observation satellite, Ofek 19, into orbit as a warning to Israel's enemies. It sounds like Israel is using as much force as it possibly can in this window that it has right now.
Yeah, and there are more and more reservists, people who spend 300 or more days in Gaza, who refuse to go, to put bad money after good money and to leave their families, to lose their jobs. The academic year has started. Hundreds of students have lost 1 year. And people are very, very desperate. They don't get any answers. The prime minister refuses to stand in front of the people and tell them, you promised us that in no time we will have the total victory.
Akiva, sorry to interrupt. You did say earlier that it all could be ended with one phone call by Donald Trump. That's a huge responsibility, potentially, for the US president. In an interview on Friday, President Trump said Israel may be winning the war, but not the war of public relations. And Pew data research shows that American sympathy for Israel is eroding, especially among young Republican voters. Nevertheless, nothing is happening. No call has been made, or likely to be made by the sounds of it.
I'm afraid that the people who believe in expanding the settlements in Greater Israel and the Palestinians have no right between the river and the sea, those people are closer to Trump's ears, and they are having right now the last word. Look, the president has just passed a ruling that no more West Bank, it's Judea and Samaria. We have to wait and see what happens at the UN General Assembly in a few days, the end of this month. I don't think that President Trump wants his own people to see that he is isolated.
Okay.
And this is what's happening now. More and more leaders are calling to recognize the Palestinian state. And the president said, it's time to end this war.
Understood.
So,
understood. Akiva, many thanks for joining us on Al Jazeera. Akiva Eldar there, joining us in Tel Aviv.
Thank you.
Don't miss out. Get the full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news and expert insights. Like, share, stay ahead.